Evo ih.
Dear guests, friends, teachers, and fellow students, we are delighted to have you here tonight to share the second English evening with us. Thank you all for coming.
Last year we talked about the English tradition of drinking tea at 5 o'clock, and we tried to create the perfect blend for you. A mixture of many ingredients: songs, poems, dramatic reading and acting with a good portion of humor. We have a new blend for you this year, a better or more interesting one perhaps.
Is there a better time to relax and enjoy a cup of tea than International Tea Day? The 15th of December is the day people around the world not only celebrate the world's second most popular beverage, but they also bring awareness to the workers in the tea industry. And what a better way to enjoy a cup of tea than by listening to your favorite songs and reading your favorite books. Since this is the year the world marks anniversaries of many famous writers and their works, we are going to enjoy some of the best and most beautiful lines in English literature.
We'll start off our little journey with Christina Georgina Rossetti, who was an English poet who wrote a variety of romantic, devotional, and children's poems. She is increasingly being considered a major literary poet. Her most famous collection, Goblin Market and Other Poems, appeared in 1862, when she was 31. It received a widespread critical praise, establishing her as the main female poet at the time.
Her poetry has never disappeared from view since then, and her reputation has always been preserved to some degree. The song Remember, which we are about to hear, is taken from her praise collection and deals with longing, loss, resignation, and death. It is recited by Kristina Mitic and Valentina Miodragović.
Remember me when I'm gone away, gone far away into a silent land, when you can no more hold me by the hand, nor how turn to go, yet turn to stay. Remember me when no more day by day, you tell me of our future that you plan. Only remember me, you understand, it will be late to counsel them or pray.
Yet if you should forget me for a while, and afterwards remember, do not grieve, for if the darkness and corruption leave, a vestige of the thoughts that once I had, better by far you should forget and smile, than that you should remember and be sad.
An important anniversary this year is the 200th anniversary of the birth of one of the most celebrated authors of the 19th century, Charlotte Bronte. She was an English novelist and poet, the eldest of the three Bronte sisters who survived into adulthood, and her novels have become classics of English literature. She is best known for her novels Jane Eyre, Shirley, Villette, and The Professor.
Jane Eyre follows the emotions and experiences of its eponymous heroine, including her growth to adulthood and her love for Mr. Rochester, the master of Tomful Hall. The focus is on the gradual unfolding of Jane's moral and spiritual sensibility, and all the events are colored by a heightened intensity that was previously the domain of poetry. The novel contains elements of social criticism with a strong sense of morality at its core, but it is nonetheless a novel many consider ahead of its time, given the individualistic character of Jane and the novel's exploration of classism, sexuality, religion, and proto-feminism.
Some of the best-known passages of the novel will be read by Ivana Milošević and Anastasia Dobricic.
It is in vain to say human beings ought to be satisfied with tranquility. They must have action, and they will make it if they cannot find it. Millions are condemned to a stiller doom than mine, and millions are in silent revolt against their lot. Nobody knows how many rebellions, besides political rebellions, fermenting the masses of life, which people learned. Women are supposed to be very calm generally, but women feel just as men feel. They need exercise for their faculties and the field for their efforts, as much as their brothers do. They suffer from too rigid a restraint, too absolute a stagnation precisely as men would suffer. And it is narrow-minded in their more privileged fellow creatures to say that they ought to confine themselves to making puddings and knitting stockings, to playing on the piano and embroidering bags. It is thoughtless to condemn them or laugh at them if they seek to do more or learn more than custom has pronounced necessary for their sex.
Do you think I'm an automaton, a machine without feelings, and can bear to have my morsel of bread snatched from my lips and my drop of living water dashed from my cup? Do you think, because I am poor, obscure, plain and little, I am soulless and heartless? You think wrong. I have as much soul as you, and full as much heart. And if God had gifted me with some beauty and much wealth, I should have made it as hard for you to leave me as it is now for me to leave you. I'm not talking to you now through the medium of custom, conventionalities, nor even of mortal flesh. It is my spirit that addresses your spirit, just as if both had passed through the grave, and we stood at God's feet, equal as we are.
Someone Like You is a song by British singer-songwriter Adele. It was written for her second studio album 21. The song was inspired by a broken relationship and lyrically speaks of Adele's coming to terms with it. The song received universal acclaim from music critics, who chose the song as a highlight of 21 and praised the lyrics, its simple sound and Adele's vocal performance.
In 2011 and 2012, Billboard named Adele Artist of the Year. Time magazine named her one of the most influential people in the world in 2012 and 2016. With sales of more than 100 million records, Adele is one of the best-selling recording artists in the world. The song, Someone Like You, will be performed by Kristina Sledinovic.
I
In 2016, the world commemorates the 400th anniversary of William Shakespeare's death. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language. It would take a lot of time to name all of his works, but if he wrote only a few of them, like Macbeth, Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, it would have been enough for any writer to leave a permanent mark in the history of literature.
His plays and sonnets have been performed in nearly every major language on every continent. William Shakespeare had a tremendous influence on the art of drama and the English language. His use of the soliloquy went beyond the conventional plot description to explore his characters' thinking and state of mind. One of his most famous soliloquies, also on the stage, is from the play As You Like It. It is the phrase that begins the monologue spoken by the character melancholy Jacques in Act 2, Scene 7. It is one of Shakespeare's most frequently quoted passages, and in our attempt to celebrate Shakespeare's legacy, it is recited by Nemanja Bratković.
All of us are stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man at his time plays many parts. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in a nurse's arms. Then a whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. Then the lover, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like a bard. Jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in a cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cape lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise souls and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The sixth stage shifts into the lean and slipper pantaloon, with spectacles and nose and pouch on side. His youthful host well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange eventful history, is second childishness in mere oblivion. Sun's teeth, sun's eyes, sun's taste, sun's everything.
The year 1816 is known as the year without the summer, as an aftermath of the massive volcanic eruption in 1815. Severe climate abnormalities caused average global temperatures to decrease. Cool temperatures and heavy rains were common. The famous poets Lord Byron, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and his wife Mary Shelley went to Geneva, Switzerland to spend the summer. Since they were confined to the house, Lord Byron proposed that they each write a ghost story so they could be entertained.
Mary Shelley began writing what she assumed would be a short story. With the encouragement of her husband Percy Shelley, she expanded this tale into her first novel, Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus, published in 1880. The book proved to be a huge success and her lasting legacy. This struggle between a monster and its creator has been an enduring a part of popular culture. A passage from the Frankenstein is read by Andrea Starčić.
How can I describe my emotions at this catastrophe, or how the lenient wretch, who with such infinite pains and care I had endeavored to form? His limbs were in proportion, and I had selected his features as beautiful. Beautiful, great God. His yellow skin scarcely covered the work of muscles and arteries beneath. His hair was a lustrous black and flowing. His teeth of a pearly whiteness. But these luxuriances only formed a more horrid contrast in his watery eyes, that seemed almost of the same color as the dun-white sockets in which they were set. His shriveled complexion and straight black lips. I had worked hard for nearly 2 years for the sole purpose of infusing life into an inanimate body. For this, I had deprived myself of rest and health. I had desired it with an ardor that far exceeded moderation. But now that I had finished, the beauty of the dream vanished, and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart.
Dylan Thomas was a Welsh poet and a writer whose works include "And death shall have no dominion" and "Do not go gentle into that good night." He became widely popular in his lifetime and remained so after his premature death at the age of 39 in New York City. By then, he had acquired a reputation as a roistering, drunken, and doomed poet. Thomas came to be appreciated as a popular poet during his lifetime.
He is noted for his original, rhythmic, and ingenious use of words and imagery. His position as one of the great modern poets has been much discussed, and he remains popular with the public. "Do not go gentle into that good night" is recited by Matija Mladenović.
Do not go gentle into that good night. All day it should burn and rave at close of day. Rage. Rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last way by, crying how bright. Their frail deeds might have danced in the green bay. Rage. Rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late to greet it on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. Great men, near death, see the blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Paul Weller is an English singer, songwriter, and musician. Weller achieved fame with the punk rock, new wave, modern royal band, The Jam. He had further success with the soul music of the style country before establishing himself as a solo artist in 1991. Despite widespread critical recognition as a singer, lyricist, and guitarist, Weller has remained a national rather than international star, and much of his songwriting is rooted in British culture.
In 2007, the BBC described Weller as one of the most revered music writers and performers of the past 30 years. He has received 4 Brit Awards, winning the award for Best British Male twice, and the 2006 Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution to Music. "You Do Something to Me" is a song from the album Stanley Road. It is performed by Jovan Filić and Kristina Stojedinović.
You do something to me, something deep inside. on the wire, for a love we'll never find. You do something wonderful, you chase it all away. Mixing my emotions that throws me back again. Hanging on the wire, yeah. Said I'm waiting for the change. I'm dancing through the fire just to catch a flame. To feel real again. You do something to me, somewhere deep inside. Hoping to get close to a peace I cannot find. Dancing through the fire just to catch a flame, just to get close to, just close enough to tell you that you do something to me, something deep inside.
William Wordsworth was a major English romantic poet and also British poet laureate from 1843 until his death. With Samuel Taylor Coleridge, he helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature. With their joint publication, Lyrical Ballads.
While the poems themselves are some of the most influential in Western literature, it is the preface to the second edition that remains one of the most important testaments to a poet's views on both his craft and his place in the world. In the preface, Wordsworth argues against the hierarchy of the period which valued epic poetry above the lyric. I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, also commonly known as Daffodils, is his most famous work. It is recited by Dušan Sutirov and Aleksa Rakić.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats in highs, vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering, dancing in the breeze, continuous as the stars shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance.
The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling leaves in glee. A poet could not be but gay, such a joking company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils.
Edgar Albert Guest was a prolific English-born American poet who was popular in the first half of the 20th century and became known as the People's Poet. In 1904, he began writing verse for the Free Press under the heading Chaff. Those columns evolved into an immensely popular daily feature entitled Breakfast Table Chat.
100 years ago, Guest published A Hippo Living, a collection of verses that eventually sold more than 1 million copies. Tonight we are going to hear one of his inspirational songs, Equipment. It is performed by Mihajlo Živković, Petar Perić, Milan Milovanović, Uroš Ubiparip and Jan Cekov.
Figure it out for yourself, my lad. You all that the greatest of men have had. 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain to use if you would be wise. With this equipment they all began. So start for the top and say I can.
Look them over, the wise and great. They take the food from a common plate, and similar knives and forks with similar laces they tie their shoes. The world considers them brave and smart, but all they have when they make their start.
You can triumph and come to skill. You can be great if only you will. You're well equipped for what fight you choose. You have legs and arms and a brain to use. And a man who has risen, great deeds to do, began his life with no more than you.
You are the handicap you must face. You are the one who must choose your place. You must say where you want to go, how much you will study the truth to know. God has equipped you for life, but He lets you decide what you want to be.
Courage must come from the soul within. The man must furnish the will to win, so figure it out for yourself, my lad. You were born with all the courage you had. With your equipment, they all began. Get hold of yourself and say, I can.
Finally, we want to add some stardust, candies, monkeying around and magic into our blend to make it even more pleasing to the palate. With the help of mystical fairy, Mr. James and his students are trying to show us how people's ambitions can be extremely unrealistic at times and how easy it is for people to give up on their dreams. However, if you believe that anything is possible and keep your childlike wonder and faith alive in the adulthood, nothing can stop you from making your dreams come true.
Tamara Babić, Lea Spasić, Đorđe Mirčić, Aleksandar Nikolić and Ivan Stasić are going to perform a short comedy play by Tony Best called Ambition and show us that this world really is made of dreams. All you have to do is believe and never give up.
Now, children, we have a few minutes before home time, so sit up straight and listen to me. Now, I want each of you to think about what you want to be when you are older. Amy, what do you want to be when you finish high school?
I want to be a star.
A star? What sort of star? A pop star or perhaps a movie star?
No, sir, a star.
You mean?
A star in the sky, up high, twinkling down on everyone. That would be lovely. I'd be beautiful like all the stars in the sky.
I see. Emily, what do you want to be?
I want to own a candy factory and make candy all day long. Loads and loads of it. Enough candy for the whole wide world.
That's lovely. And then you'll be able to sell it to everyone and make them happy.
Oh no, I wouldn't sell it.
Well, what on earth would you do with all that chocolate?
I did it, of course. I love candy, it's delicious.
How interesting. What about you, Jim? What do you want to be?
A monkey.
What?
A monkey, that would be great. I swing through the trees, eat bananas all day long, and never have to work.
Really, but...
And I also wouldn't have to worry about what to wear.
Thank you, Jim. Well, that's all we have time for today. Off you go, children. See you
Good
tomorrow.
afternoon, Mr. James.
Hello, little girl. I'm the mystical fairy. I can grant you one wish. Any wish you like.
One wish, but Aladdin had 3 wishes.
Aladdin, Schmaladin. Aladdin wasn't a dog. Adults are allowed 3 wishes. Little children only get 1.
That's not fair.
I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Now, do you want to wish or not?
Oh, yes, please. I want to be a star.
TV star?
No, a twinkling star in the sky.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's what I always wanted.
Oh, well, if that's what you want. Hocus pocus, fiddly far, make this girl into a star.
Oh, wow.
There. How's that?
Oh, it's wonderful. There's a great view from up here. I can see everyone in the whole world. Oh, there's a meteorite, and that must be Mars. Oh, thank you, Fairy.
That's all right. I'll be off now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hello, little girl. I'm the mystical fairy. I can grant you 1 wish. Any wish you like.
1 wish, but Aladdin had 3 wishes.
Haven't you heard of the new government cutbacks, little girl? Or the credit crunch? I'm afraid it's 1 wish only these days. Like it or lump it.
But yes, I do have a wish.
What is it, little girl?
I want to have lots and lots of candy, all the candy in the whole world. Nestle, Verone.
Oh, all right, I get a picture. Abracadabra, alakazi, give this girl the world's candy.
Whoopee! Lovely candy. And it tastes gorgeous. And this one's fruit and nut. Oh, thank you, Mr. Fairy. And this was Turkish delight.
It's mystical fairy, not Mr. Fairy. Oh, never mind. She seems happy enough anyway.
I want to walk like you, talk like you, do.
Hello, little boy. I am the mystical fairy. I can grant you 1 wish, and don't mention.
Aladdin had 3 wishes.
Look!
1 isn't very many.
Look! That was a genie. I am a fairy, the mystical fairy. We give a far superior kind of wish.
Oh.
Oh. Do you want a wish or not?
Oh, yes, please.
What is it? I haven't got all day.
I want to be a monkey.
A monkey? What sort of monkey?
I don't mind. I don't care. I just want to be a monkey. Any sort. A chimpanzee, an ape, or even a gorilla maybe.
All right. Here goes. Abracadabra. Abu Dhabi turned this boy into a monkey.
I'm a monkey. Thank you, Sticky Fairy. Okay, we're the monkeys. Say we monkey around, but we're too busy to put anybody down.
then?
It's lonely up here. There's nobody to talk to.
Nobody to talk to? What about all these stars? Don't they talk to you?
Yes, but they're miles away. Have you ever tried holding a conversation with someone 150 light years away? By the time they reply, you've forgotten what you said in the first place.
Oh dear.
And another thing, do you see that man down there on the rooftop in the big city?
The one with the telescope.
Yes, he's looking at me all the time. He makes me feel uncomfortable.
It's not very nice, is it?
No, please, Fairy, can you change me back? I don't want to be a star any longer, please.
Well, I'm not really supposed to, but if you're sure.
I am.
All right then. Twiddly-doo, twiddly-door, turn back what you were before.
Oh, thank you, Fairy.
Oh, hello, little girl. How's all that scrummy candy then?
Oh, I hate candy.
No, that's not right. You love candy, remember? You wanted all candy in the world.
No, I hate it. I feel sick. And look at my stomach. I'm so fat I can't even get above the floor.
Well, I must admit, you do seem to have put on a bit of weight.
A bit of weight? I'm like a stranded whale. I can't move. I want to go out and play with my friends again. Please, Fairy, can you take all the candy away and make me slim again?
Well, technically it's 2 wishes and you already had one. So, I don't... Oh dear. Very well. I will change you back, but don't tell anyone. Crackety Jack and Flibberty Jim, remove the candy and make you slim.
Oh, thank you, Fairy.
Oh, 2 kisses in one day. I am lucky. Hello, little monkey. How are things?
I'm in a cage.
A cage? What are you doing in a cage? You should be in a jungle.
I know that. Some hunters chased me down and threw a big net over me. Then they put me in the back of the truck. And I ended up here, in a zoo.
What a shame.
I don't want to be a monkey anymore. People treat monkeys awfully badly. All the girls tease me and the boys throw things at me. Please change me back, Fairy. I don't want to be a monkey anymore.
All right. Turkish delight and hazelnut joy. Change you back to a little boy.
Great. I'm not a monkey anymore. Thank you.
Oh, gosh. What a busy day. I need to lie down.
Well, children, we're nearly at the end of another day. Just before we go, let's ask a few questions. Amy, last week you said you wanted to be a star. Is that still what you want?
Oh no, Mr. James, that's a silly idea. I don't want to be a star ever again.
Again? Never mind. What about you, Emily? Do you still want to, what was it? A candy factory?
No, sir. I don't ever want to see another candy bar in my whole life.
That's great. What about you, Jim? Do you still want to be a monkey?
No, never, never, never. Monkeys have a terrible life, you know.
Children, I'm really glad you no longer have such silly ambitions. Before you go, tell me just another thing. What do you want to be now?
A fairy!
There are few hours in life more agreeable than the hour dedicated to the ceremony known as afternoon tea, wrote Henry James in The Portrait of a Lady, and we believe he was right. Whether you spend your tea time catching up with your best friend, reading your favorite book, or listening to your favorite piece of music, it's the time of the day to sit back, relax, and enjoy a perfect plan.
We truly hope you found this year's mixture of beautiful pieces of art pleasant and amusing, and that us meeting for a tea in the evening becomes a tradition. Thank you for coming, and as we told you last year, if the English language and British culture are your cup of tea, we hope we'll see you here again next year. Cheers!